I'm Susie Phillips. Today I'm going to teach you how to make dolma. For dolma, we use all kinds of vegetables like pepper, tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, sweet peppers, and two kinds of squash, Italian and Mexican. You stuff it with meat and rice and chopped vegetables in it with mint and other stuff, and you cook it and it's delicious. I hope you enjoy it. The first thing you do, I get the Mexican squash, I cut the head off and the end off, and then I cut it in half because it makes it easier to scoop it. Sometimes when the squash is small, you can leave it whole. Cut the end and the back and just push the thing inside in a bowl in front of you. And you keep scooping it till it's all cleared up. You buy this from any store that sells pots and pans and stuff like that. It's serrated, nice scooper. Then I finish it up with, I bought this from an Armenian store, I'm sure you can find it. This finishes it up, it makes it very smooth and clean inside. Now I'll show you the half. The half is a lot easier. I usually measure from here to here so I won't make a hole in it. And if you make a hole in it, don't worry about it. You scoop that, and then you scoop it. And then I take the Armenian one, which you don't have to. If you don't have it, you can finish it with that. But I'm used to doing it this way. Till it's all clean and all scooped out. You get a nice pepper. You get a sharp little knife. And you go like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this, and you scoop the thing out. Don't leave any seeds inside. It's nice thinking this one is a good one. There are no seeds in it. This is the jalapeno. Do the same thing. And if you don't want any seeds or veins in it, rinse it in the sink. You'll find out you get everything out. Now, I'm going to show you how you make your tomato. I usually use Roman tomato. You take the top off like a hat and go like this. Then you go around it this way and you scoop the tomato out. It's all scooped out. There's nothing in it. So now you have your tomatoes, your peppers, sweet pepper, jalapenos, and your squashes are all here. Before we mix the food, the michuk we call it, or the stuffing, you mix salt and pepper in a little dish. You put your hand in it and you go like this, and you put it upside down. The reason for it is because it will make the squash stay more whole and the taste better. But you have to let it stay for a few minutes or to drain. And the other thing you do, only the squash and the tomatoes, you put salt and pepper. so they will stay whole and not break into pieces. Now we have all our ingredients ready to be stuffed. We're gonna make the stuffing. The meat is ready. It's about half a pound of very nice chuck. I get it from an Armenian store, or you get a reliable butcher you have. So I'm gonna put the meat in there, and I'm gonna put half a cup of rice. Usually I put at least half a cup of bell pepper. I'm gonna chop the tomatoes. It's almost like 1 cup of tomatoes. We're gonna start adding the spices. I always put a bunch of mint. I have it in my yard all the time, but you can buy it anywhere you want. So you take all the leaves off. It should be at least 1 tablespoon. This amount of meat, you get at least 5 pieces of garlic. At least. The more, the better. I'm gonna put 6. Now you take 8 ounces of tomato sauce. Then you get pepper paste. I got the hot kind because we like hot things. Pepper from Aleppo, at least 1 teaspoon. Putting 1 teaspoon of pepper and 1 teaspoonful of salt. And then you taste it. If you don't like, if it needs more, you add more. All right, now I'm mixing the stuffing. I'm ready to stuff the stuff now. I always start with the squash, I don't know why. Now the art of this, not to stuff it to the top. You have to stuff it halfway and a little bit. When you go like this, it should come up to the top, and that's enough. If you stuff it too much, it cooks and overflows and it becomes like a soup. If it's like this, you go like this and throw it here. See? This is extra. You put it here and you put it here. Now I'm stuffing the peppers. Bell peppers. My husband's favorite. Now I'm stuffing the tomatoes. You can't fill the tomatoes too much because it busts. It's the softest of the dolmas. So you have to stuff it halfway. Now that we finished stuffing all the vegetables, including the pepper, we have a certain way of putting it in the pan. You put the peppers first for a reason, because it cooks longer, needs more heat. When you put it inside, you put them the back to each other like this. Then you put the squash, and then you put the tomatoes on top. It's the more tender and soft one. Then the last tomatoes. Now we're finished. Now all the vegetables stuffed are put in the pot. You sprinkle very low salt, not too much, because it might be salty, but you taste it after you put the water and it comes to a boil. You cover your vegetables for sure, and a little bit more. Squash turns into water anyway, so you cannot put too much, it will overflow. On top of this, you always put a heavy plate to keep everything in place. If you need to add more water, you can. And now you lift it and put it on the burner. And I'm gonna cover it up and turn on the burner. I'm gonna wait here till it starts boiling. It was hot water, so I'm hoping it will start boiling very soon. Now it came to a boil, and I want to taste it and see if it needs any more salt. So I take with a little spoon and taste it. Yeah, it needs a little bit more salt. And put a little bit. Once it comes to a boil and you taste it and everything is good, you cover it and lower it to medium and wait. I'll go sit down and I'll come and check on it in 20 minutes. I usually time it so I won't forget it. Now it's been over 20 minutes, so we have to put the lemon juice. You take a big tablespoon, measure 1, 2, and taste it again and see if it needs more lemon or not. Perfect. Oh, it's delicious. Another 5 to 10 minutes and we're ready to eat it. What you have to do is you leave the thing a little bit ajar like this, and you have a bowl there, and you strain the water. Well, at this point, you take the dish that was on top of it with a piece of paper towel, and you put it in the sink. I'm gonna try to take some out. You should wait a while, but I'm going to do it. And now this is the finished product that we worked so hard to make it. And we usually eat it with yogurt. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the food.